Hey, it's Dr. Amanda with Straightsmile Solutions, straightsmilesolutions.com, and a couple of you have asked me to review this one YouTube video. It's not one of mine, but you can watch it. Just go into YouTube and put Invisalign with MA, letter M, letter A, like this, Ma, in adults for class 2 or something like that. And a video will pop up from a really respected doctor that I happen to know pretty well in Australia, where he's going to go over this case that was like a full step class 2, clearly high angle case, clearly an airway case, just crazy flared incisors case. Clearly a surgical case in an adult, no way around it. Patient didn't want surgery, patient didn't want teeth out. So he tried Invisalign with MA with TADs, okay? That's what this video is. This is supposed to be a TAD. Oops, got cut off, to help her. Instead of taking out extractions or third molars or premolars or doing jaw surgery, which would be a little bit more the gold standard. Now, things that fly in other countries don't fly in the United States. So I don't think this would fly in the United States at all. Also, just to pick the case apart, he never showed the Ceph. He never showed the Ceph numbers. She's clearly just blown out in all directions, forward, side, everything like that. Initial final, that would have been nice. I looked at the case and I'm like, who would want to go through all those TADs, which in the US would be so expensive, and it's also very painful if you've never gone through it. I had a kid that went through it, and I would never do that to a patient. No thank you. That's not the space I want to be in for ortho. A lot of stuff can be done without TADs if you just have a little patience and a little creativity. So, you can get, basically it was a VME case. You can get some improvement with VME just with Invisalign itself. If they had taken out the third molars, I would have done third molars out, sequential distalization, some absolute intrusion of the incisors. Yeah, maybe we wouldn't have had as much auto rotation of the jaw, maybe not as much correction, but personally I thought the finish was terrible on that case that he showed. As a posterior open bite all around, she's still totally blown out, blown forward. I thought, no offense to that doctor, I would not be showing that case. But it made me think about something. Can we use Invisalign with MA in adults? And what might be some indications for that? And, right now, in order for you to be able to use it, and I asked this question, if you guys go to that page, you'll see in the comments section, I said, how did you order that? Because I know you can't get it in adults. So, and I don't think this was a study. So I think the only way that I know you can order it is if you fudge the patient's birth date and make them a teenager. And I don't think Invisalign's there to play police to see if check your patient's ID to see if they really are teenagers. So basically, if you're clicking them as teen, you're saying that they're still growing, And I think all they do is their computer just looks at the algorithm to see if there's overjet. So that's how they got away with that. Interesting though, makes me kind of want to do it. I don't know how that violates Invisalign's term and conditions. I'm not saying I'm going to do it, so Invisalign, don't freak out. I'm just opening up the conversation because enough people have seen this video. They are not asking me how they do that. And I'm like, don't do it. You're violating Invisalign's term and conditions. It's FDA approved only for growing kids who haven't finished puberty or just finishing puberty. It's not FDA approved to correct class 2 in adults. Now remember, the point of MA is that it's going to position the mandible forward so that it stimulates its growth in a growing kid that still has growth potential. How they were using it was completely off label. It is not approved, I don't think, in any country. Maybe in some countries you're not going to get in trouble for it. But basically, they're using it to help cant the occlusal plane, to help with the conjunction with TADs, to help get intrusion of the whole maxillary segment. I would love the ability to be able to use it off label. That's cool, but I don't want to get in trouble for it either. Because if and when the patient, the United States is very litigious. If the patient complains, goes to an oral surgeon, goes to an orthodontist for a second opinion, I'm going to get my license revoked. So that's a hard pass. But anyways, but good point. I would like the ability to use it, and I thought about this a little bit more today, and I'd need to see more cases, but I don't see any reason that you couldn't use it to replace class 2 elastics in a situation, where maybe you are aligning and you just would like a little bit of canting of the occlusal plane. I would like the ability to be able to do that. I don't know how well it'll work in comparison to elastics, but I'd like the ability to be able to try. I'm not saying it's going to grow a jaw. I'm just going to say it's going to help move teeth more efficiently. I think that would be cool if they would approve it for that reason off-label. The other way I'd really like to be able to use it, to be honest, if they could get it approved to be, I'm not saying an OSA device, and obviously you see these pictures here, because I know that's a whole nother thing to go through OSA. I mean, that's a whole bunch of regulation. But as a snore device or as a bruxism device, I think it would be awesome if I could get it. And by the way, I'm going to point out, I know Invisalign Align Technology Brass, they listen to my videos because they comment on them all the time. And I've been invited to go to their headquarters and talk to the CEO and the CFO and stuff like that. So they definitely listen to what I say. And the funny thing is, everything that I've proposed, they have actually launched. I get zero compensation for this. I don't even get an attaboy. And I don't even know if this is stuff they were, Great Minds Think Alike, they were doing anyways. And just so happened that great minds think alike, or if they actually took my ideas, I don't care, but whatever. The whole point of this is to get a good idea out there so that it can help people. And that's why I'm just out there with my ideas, my, possibly $1 million ideas to make Invisalign a better product to be able to help patients. So if I were Invisalign, I would find a way to get MA incorporated into Vivera retainers. I would like to have an AM PM Vivera. AM is just like regular Vivera, we have that. At nighttime, you put your PM Vivera in, which is Vivera with MA. It's just, and I'd like it even better if it was a one-piece thing, where it was like one unit, not two separate aligners. It was fused, so that would help with nasal breathing. That would be an incredible snore device, incredible bruxism device, an incredible, and that's not that hard to get approved. Snoring and bruxism is not that hard to get approved. So if I were Invisalign, I'm going to repeat this, please make an AM PM Vivera with the PM being an MA, ideally fused into one thing. If not, I'll take it separate for now. And I can always use rubber bands to loop it together, on the wings. There's different ways you can make rubber bands, loop it together on the wings so that it stays together. But I think that would be absolutely incredible, a really cheap, I think it would be a game changer for a lot of patients. There's so many patients that need a mouth guard, that need a sleep device, not a sleep, we're not calling it sleep, we're calling just snoring device. They want one after they do their Invis, and it is a barrier to getting Invis because they're like, oh no, now I gotta get another, night guard or whatever afterwards. If they could make one, I'm saying it's the perfect one, but it's something that I could click a button and order off my iTero, off my Clincheck, whatever, for an affordable price. It's like, I have some friends that are literally, this is their barrier to getting Invisalign, is that they don't want to do this other step afterwards because that's where the expensive money comes in. So if Invisalign can create this, oh my goodness, it would open up like every single patient in your office that needed one, had one, would probably be willing to do Invisalign and then get this device afterwards. So, and it should be affordable, the AM/PM, maybe it's double the price or something like that. But I don't see any reason they can't get that approved. I would love it if they could get that approved. So just want to put that out there in the world. Invisalign Align Technology, please create this appliance. And when you do, you can name it after me. All right, thanks so much.